So, from landing job opportunities at two FANG companies to getting so many recruiter messages in the last 1 year to getting laid off and applying to countless jobs, applying to countless applications and getting rejected everywhere. Today I'm going to share my laid off story. Hello everyone, welcome to Club UX, the one stop for everything related to UX. For everyone who don't know me, I am a UX researcher. I started my career in India. I worked with Panasonic as a researcher and designer there. And then in 2019, I moved to US and I got my first opportunity here as a UX consultant where I did a lot of research and design. And then I sort of had this epiphany that I like research more than design. And I was looking for opportunities and I got my first break here at Google, and then I landed my second job here at Meta where I was working as a full-time before I got laid off. To talk about how did it happen, how I landed these jobs, how I was able to crack these two job interviews, I will create a separate video. But today I'm going to share my story about how I got laid off, starting with my journey. In 2021, I decided to make a transition from design, from full-time, from research and design to specifically into research. Then I was applying for a lot of jobs. I think in 4 months into 2021, even though the job market was still a lot better, it was great in 2021. I would apply in 4 months. I had applied for like 2,000 job applications, got rejected everywhere. However, this Google thing did work out. I was a contractor there. I started working there in October 2021, and it was a great experience. I mean, moving from India to learning the entire work culture in US, which is something which is completely new, transitioning from consumer electronics into tech industry, the work culture is different, how people work is different. So it was a great experience. I really learned a lot. However, in 2021, I was also pregnant. And in 2022, in March 2022, Google had this mandate of return to office. That meant that you had to be in office for 3 days in a week. And I was actually working for YouTube through Google. And YouTube office is about 40 to 45 minutes away from where I live, and I was in the last months of pregnancy. So I decided not to really pursue with this contract, and I was like in a bit of a dilemma. What should I do? I should even look out for opportunities, because even if I get a job anywhere, contract or full-time, I will take at least a couple of months off. But I was still giving job interviews because it's a very good way and inexpensive way to practice your skills, to practice your hard skill, to your soft skills. You get to know what different sort of questions are asked during interviews. You also, start getting these confidence. In the end of March 2022, I was approached by a Meta recruiter about this new job opportunity. And honestly, I did not really want to pursue it. And the reason is because I had a lot of self-doubts that, it's a big company. Would I be able to even crack the interview? And it had to do with my own insecurities. Anyways, I did say yes, I would like to start the interview process. And I will make a separate video about how this entire process went. What is it that a company like Meta or Google is looking for when they're interviewing it? There will be a separate video on that. I'm promising I will make a video. So when I would call this my first round of interview that I had with the Meta recruiter, where she talked a lot about the projects that I worked on, what is my research process and everything. And at the end of the interview, I told her that if everything goes well and if I will get this job, I would not be able to join at least by July. And she said, okay, she'll speak to the hiring manager. And then she came back to me and she said that hiring manager is okay and he would like to schedule an interview with me. I had my first round with the hiring manager, and I did practice a lot, and I think I performed decently, and that's why I got my other back-to-back rounds of 4 virtual on-site interviews. Up to you. You want to schedule all of them in one day, or you want to spread it across into multiple days. I decided to spread it across into multiple days because I wanted to take some time to prepare, and also because I was still working at Google. It did go well, and I remember on 13th May 2022, I got the job confirmation. I received a call from the recruiter that they would like to move with your candidacy. And I can't tell you, I was so happy. I was literally jumping. I was 9 months pregnant, but I was literally jumping. I was in the kitchen, and my husband was sitting on the dining table, and I was so excited. I was so happy. I received the formal letter on Monday. That was 16th May 2022, and on 25th May 2022 I had my daughter, and I joined on 4th of July 2022. Because it was a remote opportunity and we also had some help at home, I was able to join, and it was great. These were like beautiful 4 to 5 months. I learned a lot. The team was great. I would say it was my dream job. The team was great, my peers were great, the projects that I worked on, be it product manager, engineers, or be it basically the entire team. It was an amazing time that I've had. I learned a lot, I grew a lot, I worked on some really complex problems, some really complex projects, and I was able to excel in that because of this beautiful collaboration that I was able to have with all my team members. So, sharing the day it happened. It was end of October 2022 when we were hearing that there are like some really awful layoffs that had happened at Twitter. And then we also hearing some stories that Meta is also going to lay off about 10 to 12,000 about of their employees. And I heard this from also my husband. But then I just shrugged it off. I said, I'm working on some really revenue driving projects. And um, right now I'm in a team where we are having so much more on our plate than what we can chew. So there is no chance that there will be anything that will affect our team. And I was in fact actually working on two back-to-back projects at that time. And one of the projects that I was working on, I was supposed to give the presentation the next week, the week after I was laid off. And I had sort of compiled all the information, created this preliminary research report to share first with my design lead to get some feedback from her as to how I can make it more visually compelling before presenting it on 16th or 17th of November. And it was Tuesday night, and I was so happy that I have done the basic analysis, and all I need to do is make the data more visually compelling. I'll talk to my design lead tomorrow. I booked a meeting with her at 9 o'clock, 9:30, 9:25 in the morning. And I was so happy, and I slept with a lot of happiness in my mind. And then it was November 10th or 11th. Don't remember the date, but it was Wednesday morning, 7 o'clock, when I saw this notification on my Apple phone that Meta has laid off 11% of their workforce. And then I just got up and I checked my email, and there I saw the message that unfortunately you are part of the reduction in workforce. And it was really shocking for me. I was understandably sad. I was shaking. Over the next couple of hours, I was just receiving messages. I was basically, all the access had been taken away. There is a workplace tool which is used to communicate between the internal Meta employees. That was taken away. The access had taken away. The only access we had was Outlook, and I was just sending messages to my teammates, to my peers. I did hear about some of the teammates who were also laid off, and I was so shocked that some of these people have worked for 5 years, for 10 years, for 12 years, and they had also been laid off. So that was really sad. So I would say there are two things that still makes me sad about this layoff. Is number one, I was working with a beautiful, great team. It was my dream team. And second thing, I really prepared hard for this interview. It took me a good 1.5 month to get this job. Anyways, the next 1 week, I was still in a state of shock. I had breakouts on my face because of the stress. And in fact, my breast milk supply literally dropped 60 to 70%. Anyways, I started reaching out to my mentors, my colleagues started reaching out to me. I gained the strength, and I started reworking on my interview skills, on my portfolio. I would say at that time, back in November, December, the market was still better. I was still getting callbacks from the recruiters. If I had applied for any contract position or if I had applied for full-time opportunities, I was still getting the callbacks. I did appear for a couple of interviews, though I was not able to clear them. End of December, I was approached by a Google recruiter to interview at Google, and I gave the interview, I think 3-4 days before the layoff happened. And I had an awesome conversation with the hiring manager. And I could get, sometimes when you have this conversation, you can get a hint that maybe they would want to move forward with you. And I did get this hint from her, because in the end of the conversation she said that I really hope, Ritika, I see you in Google. I reached out to the Google recruiter 2 to 3 times, and she said there is no response. Probably there was a hiring freeze, probably the person who had interviewed me got laid off. I have no clue, but I think at least I deserve a response from such a big company, that where I am in the interview process, or if they are not moving ahead with the interview process. So in January, I went to India. I was in India for 3 months. I would say I was a little bit lazy and a little bit slow. I did interview at Apple and Salesforce, and one of the interviews my husband saw, and he was like, Ritika, you don't know how to talk. You don't know how to speak. Your interview skills have gone down in the drain. And that was like a wake up call for me. We came back in the beginning of April 2023, and since then I've applied to like countless applications. First of all, there are very, 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 very limited jobs in the market. Meta also announced it's another round of layoff. Amazon also laid off people again. And then there are countless other companies who have laid off people. And there is more like a demand and supply issue right now. The salary has also gone down. If you are getting X% amount per hour on a contractual basis, now it's 20 to 30% low than what you were getting before. So there is a lot of talent in the market, the jobs are less. And wherever I'm applying to, I am getting, if I'm applying for any full-time opportunity, I'm just getting rejections, rejections, rejections. I have interviewed for a couple of contract opportunities, but I've not yet received any news from them. And there are a couple of companies where I have applied as contract, but there is very slowdown in the entire hiring process. In the last year, I would be just swarmed with messages from recruiters, from emails, messages that would land in my inbox, in my LinkedIn inbox, in my email, in my phone. But now everything is dried up. So what next? I don't know. Sometimes I am, so the graph of my state right now, it's like it's stable, and then I get enthusiastic that no, I'm gonna kill it, I'm gonna do it. Then it goes up, and then sometimes it just way deep down. This is how the graph is going. Even yesterday in the night, I was crying. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen, this and that and this. So it's tough. For people like me who have been laid off, I would say a couple of things for you. Number one, don't shy off from crying if you have been laid off. If you also are impacted by this recent turn of events, it's okay to cry. Just let it out. You'll feel better. I feel better. But don't let it stuck in your head. You have to move forward. That is my second advice. You have to move forward. Whether it is taking any course, whether you enjoy making content. I have made this content after after 1 year, because I just thought that with all the expertise that I've gained, with all the learning that I've had, let's just start giving it back to the people. So that is my advice number two. Number three, practice interviews even if you don't have any in hand. In the last 1 month, what I've done is, because I've given so many interviews in the past, and I've been giving interviews even now, even though nothing has happened. Whenever I have interview, I write down the questions. Okay, this is something which I did not know, something which I've not prepared before. So I start preparing on that. And practice your soft skills, practice your hard skills if you can. Brush up your case study, rework on your case study, watch videos, read. Just prepare yourself for any opportunity, because you're just one step closer to the next opportunity, even if you're failing right now. And last, reach out to people. Send them cold emails, cold messages. If you see the name of the recruiter who has posted job posting on LinkedIn, or the name of the hiring manager, just reach out to them. I know most of the time they don't respond. Maybe the response would be just 1% of the number of outreach emails that you have sent, but maybe someone will reply to you. You never know. Right now, it's more like you have to push forward, you have to not stop. Many a times I feel bad, many a times I feel like nothing is going ahead in my life, but then this is just a temporary situation. So, yes, that's it for today. Thanks for hearing out to me. And yeah, I will keep on creating more content. Whatever I've learned over the last couple of years, I will be very happy to share it with you. Strategies to crack interviews, something which even I am learning, how we can work on what are different sort of questions that are asked, what are different sort of behavioral, technical questions that are asked. I'll share all the advice with you. Additionally, I'm also sharing a Calendly link with all of you. If you feel like you just need to talk or you just need my advice, if you need any mentoring from me, I am happy to do so. I'm adding the link in the description box, and I will see you soon. Bye.